Hello there, welcome to the World of Warships console with Ungainly Titan. Or World of Warships Legends, rather. So we're in the U.S.S. Benson, Tier 6 U.S. destroyer. Regular Tech 3 destroyer, and still... we're still hammering away at it. Not as often as I get to play World of Tanks, but we're still working away on building up silver, so as to be able to purchase the Fletcher and have some spare silver, I suppose, left over as well. So to continue, we're making silver though steadily enough. It's even at tier 6. So it is a different kind of game really to World of Tanks in terms of silver and grinding experience. Although, I mean, you're up to tier 6, you're up to the penultimate tier before I really ran short of silver. And I have never been silver starved in the sense that I was in the early days of World of Tanks, where actually you didn't have enough silver left to repair your ships. And I make silver nearly in every battle. However, I don't have... not in the Benson anyway, I don't have a lot of big number battles where I get big numbers, big amounts of damage. Like I'm frequently doing comparable damage in the tier 3 Iwaki. I know it's a light cruiser, but it's frequently doing similar amounts or better amounts of damage. In fact, I'd have a lot more games above 60,000 or 50,000 damage points done in a battle in the Iwaki than I would have in the Benson, which I find kind of annoying in the sense that it's kind of I should be able to do better than that kind of thing. And why am I not able to do it? Is the tier 6 that much tougher? Or is tier 3 that much easier? Like, am I kind of seal clubbing at tier 3 and just not good enough for tier 6? I don't know. I keep trying to basically improve my play, so the only way to do it is to practice. I'm also playing around with captain builds and stuff like that. And in fact, I'm thinking of rebuilding the captain again, but I'm going to wait till I have all these skill ranks complete so that he'll be eligible for the legendary stuff, and I have everything else done. I need 4 more insignias. So we've come into Cap Point Charlie. I'm basically hiding out in this end of the island because or near the islands in the gap here, so that I can make a quick escape. Because as I was coming in, obviously we'd spotted the Torpedos, and then we spotted the Colorado. And then the team spotted practically the entire enemy team except for the destroyer. So I reckon even if the destroyer's around here somewhere, the chances are that it'd be just me and the destroyer, and I could always slip out between the two islands. Provided I suppose the destroyer wasn't coming in that way against me. Yeah, the Torpedos has moved on. I think he's gone out of range. But the Colorado's been playing very passively, and he's been just sitting there at the edge of the map for a long time doing nothing. I've sent some torpedoes out in his direction, but it looks to me like he's now going backwards. And it's only a matter of time before the battleships get close enough to start firing at him. I didn't see any particular point in chasing after him myself, getting too close, because once I get spotted, he has nothing else to be paying attention to, and just one salvo after that broadside is enough to take you out. Like. And there goes half his health from a fellow battleship, an allied battleship, and there's the second incoming strike from. Did a lot of damage though, but nothing like the Citadel hits that it got earlier on when it just removed, like I said, half his total points strength. So now I'm going to push forward, and I'm going to get some torpedoes in the water in its current perceived course, and then just hide in here in the beach and possibly lob in a few shells into it at the moment. However, it looks to me like that the Colorado's going to die long before my torpedoes are going to get near it at this point. He's just taking fire. He's not really moving. He's not maneuvering much, and not sure what he thought he was doing. And I don't think he's... I mean, some of those ships are directly behind me, so he's not well angled against some of the enemy ships. Some of them are getting pretty decent broadsides onto him, I would say. It looks like he's dead in the water again. God, there must be very little health remaining on the ship. And another incoming salvo. Will this be it? Yep, there he goes. So that is the Colorado out of the way, and that's me alone. We've captured this site, and it's now nothing to do but chase after the enemy fleet. However, we're 2 cruisers down already, and we're... Okay, we've managed to claw back a battleship, but it's hard to see what the numbers are. Are we still ahead? Very hard to see what the numbers are in terms of the scores. Actually, we are still ahead, which shows the value of the early cap points. I mean, we've managed to lose 2 ships there, 1. Admittedly, there's the higher value ship, but we still managed to lose 2 ships there, 1 remain ahead in capture point or in victory points. However, there's a Baltimore heading towards us. He's heading towards the destroyer and a number of battleships. And he's about to suffer greatly for doing that as well, and doing it on his own. Now, I don't know if he... Well, he must have known. I mean, I think everybody over here was spotted at one point or another, so he must have a fair idea what was coming around that corner, because we don't have any cruisers left. It's just destroyers and battleships. And I have a fair few torpedoes in the water now. I think the Baltimore, having lost more than half its health points, has actually realised its predicament and is actually turning to run. I think those last shots, it takes forever for the shots to go down from this range. I don't think any of those shots are going to hit it. Nor are my torpedoes going to have any effect now that it's running away. And it's again getting damage chunked out of it by the battleships again behind me, and it's not going to last too very long either. So we're losing capture circle A, Alpha, and I think it's time, once the Baltimore is out of the way, to start heading for capture circle Bravo, because the enemy fleet, most have been spotted around about Alpha at the moment. And there goes the Baltimore. So the route is clear into capture circle Bravo. And there are only a small number of enemy ships over one side of it looks like. There was a destroyer spotted there. There's a smoke screen there still visible. And that seems to be it at the moment. We have a battleship on the other side of the island, between the smoke screen and detected enemy battleships. And it's now a matter of getting close enough. However, we're badly outnumbered. The enemy have only lost 2 ships and we have lost 5. So we are very, very heavily outnumbered. But we do have the advantage, I suppose, that the ships with me are relatively in good shape. They haven't actually really taken much fire. I don't think either the Baltimore or the Colorado managed to put out much fire, and looks like these enemy ships are a little bit more damaged. So the Torpedos there is more than half his health missing. There's a destroyer still in the smoke screen. He's actually over here at one side, so there's a chance they might be able to catch him with the torpedoes. So I'm going to turn now in a moment. I'm just going to put some torpedoes straight through the smoke screen there. I don't think there's any chance. I mean, I could have fired in the direction of the torpedoes, but the torpedoes would have been out of range by the time that I've intercepted. I think I'm better off just using the high explosives, see if I can set a fire and whittle down some of the remaining health in that fashion. I can break around the island if I need to. If the worst comes to the worst and the torpedoes has already been engaged in one of our other ships out there to the southern side of the map. So now that I'm no longer spotted, I'm going to slow down and come back along this side of the island to get into the smoke screen, see if I can use the enemy smoke screen against them, or at least flush the destroyer out of it if he's still in there. It's nice to be able to use enemy smoke screens like that. It can really save in your own smoke screens. Now I think it is starting to fade, but we should be still able to get a salvo of torpedoes off without being spotted, which would be the ideal thing. If we can just find one of the enemy ships at range. I think the Scarnhorse seems to be popping in out of range. Looks like he's turned now and he's crossing us. So we let some ships off for the Scharnhorst. The enemy smoke screen is definitely fading. But I'm already turning away, and hopefully I'll be far enough away by the time it goes completely that I won't be spotted. So the King George I have locked on at the moment. I should be able to get torpedoes onto the King George as well if he doesn't change course. And I'm going to go back and tuck in close to the island, I think, again. Preferably coming out their remote side and come out there from a direction, you know, they're not necessarily expecting. So they are... don't know what they can see at the moment. They might be able to see the battleships, but I'm not detected. Scharnhorst is looking good for the torpedoes. That's really nice. He's sailing straight into the whole spread, or at least a sizable chunk of it. So I think the first one's going to miss him, but the next three do not. So he's taken 3 torpedo hits. Unfortunately for me, he has not died. He's still alive, even though he's on very low health. And he seems to have controlled the flooding. There's no evidence that he's continuing to flood. However, I have to pull my way attention from the Scharnhorst because the Kid and the Atlanta are making a run on our battleship. And I decided that the battleship can probably take care of the Atlanta, but I need to help him take care of the Kid. Destroyers at that range can be very dangerous to battleships, and I've just got them with a torpedo hit probably on the King George. So here's the Kid coming around, and we're just going to shots into him. Got to be careful I don't run into the island, because that's really would be bad news at the moment. It would just take me out of the fight for too long. And the Kid has come around again. I'm continuing to get flanking fire into him. I think that was one of the other battleships firing over my head there. Just some speculative torpedoes if he keeps going in the course, and he managed to sink me with torpedoes or something. He's been going in a straight line for quite some time, and there's always the possibility he could catch me with some, so I managed to finish him off. I straightened in towards his last known position, but I'm kind of still expecting the torpedoes. I'm actually afraid. I need to turn back. I need to get back up to the other side of the cap circle. But I'm just giving it time because I just want to make sure that there are no torpedoes in the water and that it's not just my imagination. And I'm going to sail around here and just get slammed with 4 or 5 torpedoes coming in on my whatever it is, starboard side. So around we go. King George V has continued his course unwavering, and we are now going to put some more torpedoes in the water in front of him. We're still outnumbered. The enemy still have 3 battleships and a cruiser, 2 battleships and a destroyer. The King George V is actually in pretty good shape, and I don't know what shape the other enemy battleships are. However, King George is in a crossfire with multiple defending battleships. And the others are supporting him, but they're probably not close enough to completely support him yet. But they're going to take out our nearest ship, the one that's there in front of me, which is, I think, an Amagi. However, the King George and the torpedoes are looking good. Some of those torpedoes are definitely going to hit, and that should take the King George out of the fight. So we've managed to sink the King George. There's still 3 ships and they're all firing at our Amagi, so I think I can help here as well. I'm going to start laying smoke and see if I can bring it down in front of the battleship. The battleship still be able to hide in the smoke or fire out past it while I provide him with cover. So doesn't look like he's slowing down though to take advantage of it, and I do have a torpedo solution on the Amagi if I can just get some fish in the water. However, I'm not quite ready to launch torpedoes just yet, and it looks like he's going to avoid my initial spread. And I'm not ready to put a second set yet. I just haven't finished reloading yet. We're into the last seconds though, and we're going to get it done now in a moment. And he's now in the position like that if he, he can only evade my torpedoes by speeding up and slowing down, because if he turns broadside in front of the battleship that close, he's just going to take a hammering from the broadside. So I'm again turning around. This will enable me to send torpedoes out in front of the enemy Amagi again if he's coming around, but it looks like he's just well set up for my spread. He's taken, what, 5 of them? And he's flooding. And he's on fire, and I think you should be able to take him out at this stage. The secondary guns will surely get him. And there he is. Well, it doesn't matter. He's actually still alive. The battle is ended not because we've fulfilled the points requirements or killed all the enemy ships, but because we've simply run out of time. Which I always find very annoying. I'd find it much more satisfactory in those cases if we actually managed to finish the fight we were in. But we got 94,717 damage, but we only came second by experience under the circumstances. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and a share. Feel free to comment. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.